Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, all, and welcome once again to Tarheel by Dark. This particular scene is happening at Carolina University, where Harry Walsh has just recently moved into his new laboratory, and the two Malkavians, Faye Palmer and Cynthia Rose, have decided to show up to see Walsh's latest invention. So yeah, guys, glad you can make it. Blood's on the bar, of course. Blood's on the table, of course, if you want some.
As a side note, you randomly see Cynthia coughing and quickly putting out a cigarette because she didn't know what it was.
Walsh is just chuckling, and Walsh just chuckles to himself and goes, "Ah, well."
Where'd you find that, Cynthia?
I don't know. Some person just decided to give it to me for a free sample. They said I smoke it, so, I don't like it very much.
I can tell. Oh, by the way, I wanted to talk to you about something real quick, just before Walsh does his demonstration. Remember that crystal that we got from Andy and Marquez with the voice?
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe see, I after the Elysium, I asked her if the person that stole her sword was at the Elysium, and she said that yes, it was. So I was thinking that maybe we should get together with Marquez and Andy again at some time to, you know, have a conversation. I think that talking to talking to a Duke and a Duchess about this would be a very good idea when we actually get confirmation of who it was.
I actually like this idea. I mean, it could be very useful.
Mm-hmm. And I think that maybe we'll just do you think that the person that stole the sword might be dangerous to us, like dangerous to the security of the state too? And then Faye turns to Walsh. What do you think? You think that somebody who might be causing trouble for other supernaturals might cause trouble for other kindred too?
It's entirely possible. I mean, given the fact that we just had a Samitsi impersonating the prince, I wouldn't put anything past anybody at this point.
As a side note, she just kind of looks over and pokes her arm where there was bruises all over it. And she said, I can barely take a beating from Ashford, let alone any other vampires, so...
Yeah, well...
Wait, what? Why would Ashford do that?
Fortitude training!
If that's what fortitude training looks like, I'm glad I'm not learning it.
I didn't really know what it was either until I decided to ask him for it. And, well, last time it was very playful and fun. This time, he just took out his baseball bat and started grinning.
Faye blushes a little bit at the mention that the first lesson was playful and fun.
Walsh just chuckles and shakes his head. So, ladies, now that we've gotten the clarity with regards to other stuff, I know that I invited you here to my lab to show you my latest demonstration. Where are you guys up for it, or should I postpone that for another time?
Faye nods emphatically.
All right. I'd like you guys to watch closely. I know this is just an ordinary light bulb, but watch closely. As you can see, ordinary light bulb, nothing in my hands, and Walsh puts the light bulb back down on the table.
I've seen that magic trick before.
Yeah, except
Cynthia attempts to grab the light bulb and do it for herself.
and she can't do it. Walsh,
Why? But
Walsh says this isn't a magic trick, at least not the version that I've come up with. This thing is actually, if you notice very faintly, right near the bottom here, there's a little bit of a extra stick on right here. This isn't actually a that's actually the benefit of this particular new modification that I've made to this light bulb. This one has 2 microplates inside it, which actually draw on what's called the Casimir effect. This is a known version of, well, the simplified version is that this was the same technology that Dr. Cal Ekman used to open wormholes. But the other benefit of it is the fact that it's tied into the fabric of space-time, which is causing the expansion of our universe. So it quite literally is a limitless energy source, if one can convert it to electricity.
I'm pretty sure limitless energy breaks about 12 different laws of physics.
Yeah, well, this is not. It's not limitless. It's just as long as we don't tap it to too great a level, it would be equivalent to limitless for our functional purposes. It would probably speed up the heat death of the universe by a bit. Sorry, no, actually, it would probably. Well, let's just put it this way: it would slow the expansion of the universe, but entropy might increase dramatically, so we might speed up the heat death of the universe by a fractional amount. But as long as we don't tap it to cosmological scales, it should be just fine.
As a side note, Cynthia has no idea what you're saying and still is trying to do the magic trick. Are you a Tremere?
No, I'm not.
But, you, in the Malkin Network, you literally see the bird shattering to pieces.
You broke her.
Sorry, Faye.
And on another note, I'm pretty sure that in one of Annika's letters she mentioned that Cal got nommed on by a werewolf for this same kind of shit.
A little bit different, if I'm not mistaken. See, Cal Ekman was opening wormholes left, right, and center. What I'm doing is basically I'm just using the energy component that would normally open the wormhole itself as an energy source. If we control it and if we can control it and throttle it, that's why I only made this small scale model. If we can control it and throttle it, we might be able to virtually go off the grid and have a virtually limitless. Well, when I say limitless, I mean environmentally friendly energy source that will allow us to be virtually undetectable in terms of power bills and stuff like that by the mortal world. I'm thinking we leave this for about a decade or two, learn how to adapt it ourselves, and then slowly release it to the mortal world after, say, another 10, 15 years of other upgrades towards alternative technologies.
Well, it's better than nothing, I suppose. Just try not to get turned into a doggy chew toy.
Yeah, I don't think the wolves will come after me for this one. As long as I stay away from the territory.
Cynthia puts the light bulb back in Ekman's hands and puts the diamond over here.
You mean Walsh's hands?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. As it goes back into Walsh's hands, he does it and makes it go back off again.
And basically, she pulls a blue diamond next to it, making a light show.
But yeah, what do you? Yeah. You were saying?
See, I can have fun too. I can't do it. I give up.
Walsh literally says. But what do you guys think? Should I release this information to the councils?
I vote give it a try. I mean, it's very interesting, even though I didn't really understand it, but it's still interesting.
I think that you should be very careful about which dukes and duchesses you release this to. I think Annie and Marquez are trustworthy, but some of the others, Faye glances around. Some of the others who shall remain unnamed still. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little bit of a chat with private members individually when the time comes, and we'll see how this plays out. Anyway, so yeah, thanks again for showing up for my demo, and hope you guys enjoyed. I know it's not much, but it's the proof of concept that counts, right? At least at this level.
Are you sure you're not a Tremere? Just hiding in there? She kind of pokes at you. You sure?
Well, why not try reading my mind again and find out?
It's not an Elysium.
Are you allowing me to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on. Actually, I have to pull up sheet. I forget what it is.
Let's just do this one as an RP effect since there's no storytellers in the room.
Yeah.
And Walsh actively invited you.
Okay. He attempts to aspect you. What does she find?
If she's using Auspex 4, she finds that I'm Clan Bruja.
Huh. Oh. Okay.
Hey Guthrie, did she find the other thing?
What? Oh, yes. She finds out about the life boon.
No, the other thing.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. When she's going through Walsh's head, she also sees a vision of what happened with regard to the Andy plot, and discovers that Walsh is actually trying to bed Andy for political reasons.
At this, you just kind of get a face palm and just as you just kind of see her fade away and just kind of turn away from you, just face palming.
What's wrong, Cynthia? What did you find?
I was going to ask you first before I actually did anything, Walsh says.
Faye's just kind of looking around because she doesn't quite have Auspex 4 yet. But what did Cynthia find?
If she found what I suspect she found that I'm going to be trying to gain a higher influence over Andy Amos.
Good luck getting
higher. Oh, for the love of... See, Cynthia, I told you there was not going to be an Andy Marquez Faye sandwich. It's going to be an Andy Cynthia Walsh sandwich.
Wait, what? What?
No, it doesn't have to be a sandwich. It doesn't have to be a sandwich. Again, remember, Cynthia, I pledge myself to you. You get the final yay or nay on this.
Sandwich.
She just kind of grins at Faye and just goes, "I kind of want a sandwich."
Okay, then I'll pursue this. To the full with. I'll pursue this to the full with Andy, and we'll see where this goes. If I'm careful, this will work.
She just kind of shrugs.
Yep. But
just be really careful, because she's technically married to Marquez.
Well, I'm sure that Marquez will. I'm sure that since Marquez is trying to get into other people's pants, then presumably he'll be okay with Andy doing the same.
At the mention of Marquez trying to get into other people's pants, Faye shrinks away into a corner. It's not gonna happen!
I didn't expect to say it would happen. I just meant that, if he's doing it, he should be okay with Andy doing it.
That's fair, but it's still not gonna happen.
I'm actually surprised he hasn't tried going after me.
Don't know. Maybe he's just blind and misses the beauty in front of him.
Actually, I suspect it's because you remind him too much of your sister.
What? But we don't look anything alike.
I don't know. He said something along those lines once, and I overheard it.
As a side note, sorry, breaking character here. You said this is basically no dice rolling.
Yeah, for now.
Although I kind of want to try.
Okay. What do you want to roll?
Obfuscate 3.
Okay. Not sure what you'd roll for that, but...
Hold on.
I'll roll it when you figure it out.
In the meantime, Walsh is just going back around his lab puttering and cleaning stuff up.
Well, currently...
Well, while we're waiting for Cynthia to get back,
That
I'm
would
thinking...
be manipulation performance.
So how many dice?
Let's see, performance is at 5 and manip is at 2, so I think 7.
And are you declaring any specialties at the time?
Nope. And as a side note, she does leave the room for a little bit.
Okay, so she leaves the room for a little bit. 7 dice.
6 successes.
Damn. She basically comes back as Alice and starts looking in the mirror. And her mannerisms are nearly perfect, and she kind of just goes, "See? I don't exactly look like her. Well, I...
Walsh says, "I've never met Alice, but it's a pleasure to meet you finally."
Same here.
Just
Even
wave.
if it is through, I'm guessing, obfuscate.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, there's a... I thought you guys should probably know about this, considering I put the resolution forward to the legal counsel. But I figured that if one of you guys has the... well, I know, Cynthia, you do, have the capability to read my mind. I actually thought that perhaps we might put that to better use for the court, given the recent debacle with the prince. Specifically, I'm thinking that we actually have someone who's a gatekeeper at Elysium, specifically to read the minds of everyone coming in to verify they are who they say they are.
It could be possible. I'm already keeper of Elysium for Andes and Marquez's districts, but I can't read minds yet. I want to learn, but
Well, maybe Cynthia should teach you. She seems effective enough to be working on my mind.
maybe so. Everybody's already calling us Laverne and Shirley.
Well, if you two, if you two could work it out, and on top of that, if one of you was checking in on the other to verify that the two of you were actually who you said you were, we would be able to have a problem. We would be able to solve the problem of qui custodia ipsos custodes, and simultaneously be able to make sure that there are two people who are keeping an eye on the kindred population to verify that they are who they claim to be and not another imposter sneaking into Elysium.
Well, I can attempt it.
It's a good idea if it's if it's approved by the council. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, the prince said he would. The prince at Last Elysium. I know that you guys missed it, or you guys were there briefly, but you know. Anyway, the prince said that he would actually have the council check in on it before next Elysium. So, with any luck, if they approve it, I'll put your guys' names forward for this.
She nods. As a side note, you basically see, well, Cynthia playing as Alice, try and touch a light bulb again, and quickly changes back to Cynthia.
Walsh just chuckles and goes, again, like I said, this technology is still very new, so I'm going to be working on doing some tweaking to it, getting it back under control, making sure we don't end up don't we have a runaway reaction and end up destroying the universe in the process.
Wait,
Oh,
you
I
didn't
know.
say that was a possibility.
Well,
What?
it is the fabric of space-time. So if this thing got tapped in a runaway reaction, it would quite literally. Let's put it this way: you basically have the. Let's just put it this way: the expansion would start working in weird ways, and we'd probably have weird astronomical effects, which in turn would affect the Earth.
Then why risk it?
Because this technology, if I can keep it throttled, will potentially allow us to go off the grid in ways that we haven't seen before. I mean, it would quite literally be the most concealable version of energy technology that would not require solar panels or other crap like that. I mean, I just heard recently. Through the grapevine that certain sections here in Tarheel are it's actually illegal to put up solar panels to go off the grid. So I'm figuring this technology would be the perfect way to sneak under the radar and protect the masquerade.
Fair point.
Faye is just kind of staring at you, having just learned that this technology could quite literally destroy the universe. She's not sure what to think.
Well, like I said, again, with proper controls, we won't have a runaway reaction. But it's like nuclear energy. Under proper controls, it's a very good. Under proper controls and in very good hand, it's a very good thing. But release it as a runaway reaction, and well,
How hard will it be to train people to use this technology in a power plant? Like, it takes years to become a nuclear physicist. How long will it take to be able to run this technology without killing us all?
well, if I keep the throttles down, like if I keep it at a because of the fact there seems to be a certain amount of size and vibrational issues which come into play here. If I can keep the technology relatively simple in terms of what we're doing with this, because for example, the plates that are being used for vibration in this particular light bulb are modified off a magnetic system that actually generates artificial gravity, bends space-time in a particular way, and draws Casimir effect out enough to be able to be made use of. The gravitational manipulation technology is relatively straightforward. It's just magnetics and stuff like that. However, being able to learn to throttle this may take at least, well, I would argue at least 6 months to a year if I manage to get it sophisticated, if I manage to get it simplified enough. But, it will take time to train.
I think that you're not thinking this through. It's going to require engineers. It's going to require physicists. There's a lot of people that are going to be required to build and maintain this sort of system.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not
on large
sure. I'm
scale.
not sure that it's as practical as you think it's going to be.
Well, well, like I said, depending on the size scale, it may be, like I said, if I keep it on the size of this light bulb, or if I keep it on the size of something that can run a house, or run a small, if it's something that can just go off the grid, it shouldn't be too difficult to be able to control. It's literally just point the buttons, and if something goes wrong, contact me. And as long as people are not too idiotic about it, we might be able to, basically keep it within these barriers, and if there's a problem, contact me, and we might be able to shut off the technology before it becomes a problem. All we really need to do is just make sure that we either shut off the gravitational generator or pull the plates apart, depending on which version we're using.
At this point, Faye leans very very close. If we're not going to be using a power plant scheme for this sort of thing, don't release it. Otherwise, we're going to have people like Enzo getting their hands on it.
And at this point, Walsh face palms. Yeah, this could be a problem. In the wrong hands, this could quite literally turn into a weapon.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, a directed gravitational manipulation beam. Yeah, I could see potential problems with this.
Even if he doesn't do it on purpose, he's going to fuck something up accidentally. Guy's a dumbass. I probably shouldn't have said that in this close to where Dannington probably is, though. They're like... She pauses before saying something rude, and then continues. best friends.
Yeah, well, I get the feeling that Dannington is capable of being able to at least understand some of the tech. So I'm thinking with a little education and coaching, I could probably get him. And Andy, I'm willing to bet would be probably trainable in this kind of area.
As a side
Yeah,
note,
but
Cynthia just kind of shrugs and... Oh, sorry.
sorry. Yeah, and Enzo though, he's gonna feel left out, and then Dennington's gonna give him the tech, and then he's gonna screw something up, and we're all gonna die, and Gehenna's gonna happen, and.
Cynthia also just kind of shrugs at Faye's comment and just kind of goes, it's not like he has a grapevine or anything.
I don't know, here's Giovanni.
Oh, I meant Dannington, but...
Dannington can scribe, remember? He spied on us a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm being so careful about what I'm saying right now. That's why I didn't call Enzo Dannington's butt buddy. Oops.
She honestly looks over at Harry and points. She does not understand. Cynthia does not understand the meaning of butt buddy. She just kind of goes, well, he's working under him. I think he can be trusted.
Dannington is complicated.
If I know anything about Walsh, he's part of the reason he's working here is to keep an eye on Dannington.
The thing is that Dannington is somewhat open-minded, and that's the thing that I think I can work with. Is that, I get the feeling that he wants people to serve, he wants people to work for him of his own free will. He's trying to bring in the best tech possible for this district. I think that with the right work, with the right work balance, I can work with him on this. The only reason I gave one of my inventions over to Andy was that basically it was I wanted to see whether or not other dukes on the council would be as helpful, shall we say, with regards to this as Dannington is. I don't want one power monopoly. I prefer to be able to have more dukes to be able to help wider spread the technology.
She kind of thinks back. I think Sam might be able to help you.
There is that. The prince, if he's available, I might be able to get a hold of him.
And I think David showed some interest, too, in some of the other inventions.
I'll hold on to this one for now, and make sure the prince is present the next time I do a demonstration. Just private one. And whatever he says, we'll go from there.
She nods.
Your thoughts on this, Faye?
It makes sense. We'll see what the prince says next time you do a demonstration. Thing is, I don't think Dannington's intentionally being unreasonable. He's just very... He wants what he wants, and he doesn't really know how to work with people.
Ooh, give him Pepsi, give him Pepsi.
Give him Pepsi?
Give him Pepsi.
I don't think he can drink Pepsi anymore.
Aww.
Besides, isn't that Enzo's thing?
I know, that's what I meant for Enzo.
I thought you meant Dannington. Sorry.
Wait, I'm confused now.
Walsh just chuckles and goes, "Oh boy." Well, anyway, I should probably get back to work, guys. Like I said, when we actually finally do get a hold of the Dukes, etc. Like I said, I'm going to be looking forward to. I'll talk to the prince directly under a private demonstration. I'm going to talk to Dannington, of course, because, well, he kind of needs to know about the new. He kind of needs to know about the new technology at the very least. This way, if it turns out to be a no-go, he at least can know how to adapt to it.
I know, but who says he has to know right off the bat?
I kind of get the feeling he probably already knows, considering that he's probably already scrying this area anyway. So I figure he's just probably going to know anyway, and I'll just get a conversation with him going later.
That's a good point. He probably is scrying. I'm going to be in so much trouble for accidentally letting that butt buddy comment slip. I should probably get back to the cat rescue.
Fair enough. I'm going to get back to work, and I'll put the good word in for both of you. And hopefully maybe Danny will back the idea I've had.
As a side note to Faye, the crystal you have in your pocket, if you pay attention to Cynthia, she's now just bouncing it on her head.
Sorry, what was that?
If you pay attention to Cynthia, you somehow notice that the crystal you had in your pocket is not there, and she's just kind of balancing it.
Cynthia, can I have that back, please?
But it's pretty.
Yeah, I just don't want anything to happen to it until we see my cousin Andy.
Again, she pulls out all of her diamonds and has you investigate them. There's not a scratch on them.
Faye takes a different tactic this time. Okay, but you've already got so many shinies. Can't I hold on to this one?
She hands you some more diamonds and wants to keep the bigger one.
Faye face palms. Alright, what do you think about spending a few days at the cat rescue with me? You can play with the kitties?
I like the kitties.
Walsh says that sounds good, especially considering I haven't talked to Dannington about the fact that there's going to be 2 of us in his domain. So I've got to work that out with him at a later time.
She nods.
All right. Well, good to see you guys. Good to see you guys again. And I'll catch you at a later point.
Wait, Faye?
Do
you still have possession of my chest?
Probably.
Yay! Okay.
Alright, I'll drive us back now.
She's now just kind of petting the crystal, so...
By the way, is the orange cat here?
You hear a scratching at the door to your lab.
Harry walks over and opens the door and looks down and sees an orange and yellow tabby cat.
How did you get here? I left you at the rescue.
Cynthia picks him up alongside with the crystal and just says, "Okay, let's go."
The cat protests being picked up and growls at you.
Just starts gently stroking its head.
Harry just chuckles and just shrugs his shoulders. And with that, unless there's anything else, I believe the scene ends. All right. Stay tuned, everyone, for the next scene of Tar Heel by Dark.